Secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids more worried about the
Yo, what is poppin'? It's your boy Mr.BandClap, and it's the top of the week, so you already know what time it is. It's your boy in the building for another on point Orisha Tarot forecast spread, and this is going to be for the week of Monday, August the 8th through Sunday, August the 14th of 2022. As you all know, I have a few announcements that I have to make before I get to the reading. So, as you all know, I have a animated series that I've been working on for a while now. It's called Eshu's World, and you know, this series is near and dear to me. It's like a dream come true. I never thought that, you know, in a million years that I would be making my own animated series, you know, and I have really big plans for it. Right now, I'm just trying to get the funding and, you know, stuff like that together so I can go ahead and start in production of episode 3. There's a lot of assets and things that I need to buy. So to make this process go a lot faster, if you all would like to help me out with this, there's 2 ways that you can help. The first way is, well, no, there's 3 ways that you can help. First way is always donating. I always put my donation links in the description of my videos and stuff like that, so that way you all can donate if you would like to. All support is appreciated. The second way that you can help me out is purchasing some of my merch. As you know, my website has been revamped to add the 2 episodes of Eshu's World that are available. So as you all know, my website is www.bandclaptv.com, and you can go there and scroll down on the homepage and you'll be able to see my you know, 2 episodes from my animation. And when you click where it says click here for merch, you'll be relocated to my merch page, you know, so definitely check that out. I got some things for men and for women. I may have some stuff for children soon. I'll be working on more designs and stuff like that in the near future. So make sure you're, you know, following me on my social medias, my Instagram and stuff like that, so you won't miss out on that. All right. Also, as you all know, when you click on my services tab of that website, you'll see the different readings I provide. I provide natal chart readings, consultations, card readings. My Everything is Everything reading is my bestseller, so definitely check that out. Now, usually when I do these, I do a Orisha astrology, but this time is going to be a little different. I want to share with you all a personal dream that I had today, because pretty much with a few people that I've been looking at today and their own opinions and renditions about what they think this you know, 8/8 Lionsgate portal is supposed to be about. The dream that I had, it kind of hit on a lot of those points. So I want to, you know, use this time to share my dream with you all, and in hopes that you all can get something from this in how you all decide to move forward with this new energy that's coming online right now. So first of all, I want to thank Melanie the Spirit Doula. She did a really informative live stream last night, and pretty much after I watched her live, I ended up going to sleep. She said something very important. She said something about the heart. The heart is going to be very important. You know, we're still in Leo season, and like I said in my last video, you know that Leo deals with the heart. So with hearing that tidbit of information, I tuned my frequency that I go to sleep at night to 639 hertz. 639 hertz, it deals with the heart chakra, and I knew that if I want to know the message that I need to know about how to move forward with this energy and stuff like that, I need to be tuned in to a heart frequency, So I did that last night, going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep. Like, I was so determined to get this message. So, since I don't have my spliffy right now, because of monetary, lack of funds and stuff like that, I have to go back to the next best thing, which with me, dreams have always been that mode of getting answers, that mode of, me getting answers to whatever questions that I need asked. Some people, they can meditate. Some people, they can do this wide awake. I can do it wide awake when I'm smoking, but if I'm not smoking, I get the most clearest messages that I need when I go to sleep. And it's a crazy type of process that I have to do. I usually wake up a lot during the night. So when it comes to me having that dream, that one dream that's going to be the answer that I need, it's that last little dream that I have before I wake up and I can't sleep anymore. So usually, that's around 10. It's around like 10:30, around there. Because usually when I wake up after that, it's usually like 12 and it's super, super hot. So I have to get up. There's no way I can go back to sleep. So I did that this morning. I ended up getting up around 9:30, 10-ish. So I'm like, all right, this is it. It's now or never. I need to go ahead and try to go back to sleep one last time. And this is going to be it. This is it. So I did that. And the dream that I had, it was so much symbolism. Like, I had to wake up, and for like almost an hour, it was just spent just talking to myself and unpacking what I just dreamed about and using what Akasha taught me a few years ago, so I can decode the dream, so that I can, explain it to you all, and just so that I can know how I need to move, moving forward. Because for me, it's something that's going to happen for me in the fall. We're in August. August 22nd is when Virgo season starts. And once Virgo season kicks off, we're in the fall. So in this dream, it was in the fall. It was like late August, early September. Now, the reason why I know this is because at my high school, band camp starts around like mid-August, and once we get to like late August, early September, we have this marching show, and this is kind of a first go round of pretty much the show that we're going to be perfecting throughout the year. So band camp is a very grueling few weeks, because a lot of straining needs to be done, to make sure that when it's all said and done, the last people standing after band camp are going to be the ones that are going to, end up being a part of the show throughout the coming months and stuff like that. So the setting of my dream, I was a senior. I was a senior in high school again, but this was me as a senior in high school in a different type of reality. That's why I knew that all of this was symbolic. All of this was symbolic. And the fact that I was back in band camp, this had something to do with me as Mr.BandClap, because that's where I got my name from. A lot of my name came from those times, in band and stuff like that, because, as I told you all, band was the only reason why I even stayed in school. It's the only reason why I even graduated. If I wasn't in band, I probably wouldn't have graduated high school, because after the 8th grade, I just didn't care no more about school. I felt like I knew everything that I needed to know in order to live in society. You know, I never felt like I needed anything after the 8th grade. So a lot of my grades started to plummet. You know, I was on my rebellious stage, and the only thing that kind of kept me on that straight and narrow was being in band. You know, because when you're in band, especially, you know, you're trying to be the first tenor, or you're trying to be the first clarinet or the first trumpet, you have a even bigger responsibility, and you have to work constantly to keep that spot. You know, you got to work hard to keep that spot, and a lot of that it stems with you making sure that your grades are on point. You know, you can be the greatest saxophone player in the band, but if your grades are bad, you'll end up having to sacrifice your spot. Because at the end of the day, you know, my high school, it was a creative and performing arts school, but it was also a optional school, which means that even though you had these programs like band and drama and choir and stuff like that, you also had to keep your grades at a certain point in order for you to stay in these creative and performing arts programs. So in this dream, I was back in my senior year of high school, and this was the day that we were about to put on our first show. We was about to run the show in front of everybody to see, and this was going to be like the first time that we showcased this show. And this was a really, really big ordeal, you know, especially for me. So I got to kind of give y'all a little context, even though I've probably done this before, but I got to give y'all a little context just so y'all can know the severity of this situation. So me, I always knew that I had what it took to be not only the first tenor, I always knew deep down I had what it took to be the best saxophone player, the greatest saxophone player in my band. And it's funny because I knew this since middle school, you know, and from middle school all the way up to my senior year of high school, it was a constant fight. First, the fight was for me to even play the tenor sax, because I remember when I was in middle school, you know, my band director, Miss Billions, I think that was her name. Was it Miss? No, it was Miss Scott. It was Miss Scott. So my band director, Miss Scott, I told her that I wanted to play tenor sax, but since there was an 8th grader who already, put in their application and they already got their instrument and all of that, I was stuck playing the alto sax, which I kind of hated it. So I was always in a situation to where I was never able to prove who I really was. I was never able to prove that I was really that guy. And a lot of it always dealt with seniority. You know, it was always someone that was a grade higher than me. And, you know, they pretty much took all the shine. And they pretty much had first dibs on everything and all of that. So I was always stuck playing the second fiddle, even though, you know, it was something that I kind of hated, because I always knew that I had what it took to be number one. Like, I always knew that. And even in high school, I remember when I was in high school and when I was in the Red Band, which was, you know, that's like the band for freshmen and stuff like that. And, you know, y'all know in high school, the freshmen and the sophomores always got teased. They always got hazed and all of that. You didn't start getting respect in school until your junior year, you know, your junior year. And then you got the most respect your senior year of high school. So with me, you know, my fight, it started my freshman year, you know. My band director from my middle school, Mr. Richardson, he went in. Now, I didn't know this. I didn't know that my band director, Mr. Richardson, was really, really good friends with the band director of my high school, Mr. Huddleston. And once he found out that, you know, that I was going to that school and, you know, I was trying to be in the jazz band and all of that stuff, you know, he would always come up to the school, you know, just to chat with my jazz band director and also to check on me and see what I'm doing, you know, see how I'm faring up in band. So he ended up telling my secret. he ended up telling my secret to my jazz band director that I'm the type of person to where I don't even necessarily need to read the music. I just need somebody to play the part, and I can, by ear, literally play it exactly the way the other person played it. And that's what I would do, you know. Since there was always someone ahead of me, I would have to end up, we would have these things called sectionals, to where each section has to go in the practice room and practice and stuff like that. So a lot of times I would be in the sectionals, and the first tenor would actually play my part to, tell me what I'm doing wrong and stuff like that. So what I would do, instead of reading the notes, I would literally just look at his fingerings and listen to how he played it, and I would play it back to him the same exact way he played it back to me, So my middle school director ended up telling this to my jazz band director in high school, and my jazz band director was always on my head when it came to making sure I was reading the music and all of that kind of stuff. So I had that, and also, since I'm a freshman and since I'm a sophomore, I always had to fight. I always had to fight for solos. I always had to fight for my position and things like that. And even if I was second tenor or third tenor, I had to fight for that spot. And, even during that time, there was always heat. There was always heat that I got from the juniors and the seniors that was, ahead of me. And I feel like it was because a lot of them kind of seen the type of player that I actually was, and knowing that if I ever had that chance to prove myself, I would blow it out the water, and it would make them look bad. That's how I felt, especially in this dream. So in real life, I got a few awards freshman year in concert band. I don't think I got any awards my junior year, but my senior year in real life in high school, that was the year that I gained the most awards. I gained All-State. I was in All-State, which was the top tenor saxophone player in the state of Tennessee. I was in the Blue Band All-West, which means that I was one of the top tenor saxophone players of all West Tennessee. And I just racked up on a bunch of awards my senior year. And it was kind of like, bruh, like if y'all would have just gave me a chance, I could have been this a long time ago. I could have been this years ago. That's how I always felt. So in this dream, it's like I'm in this situation again. This is my senior year. This is our first major show and stuff like that. And a lot of the juniors and a lot of the seniors who gave me so many problems and stuff like that throughout the years, they've already graduated. And a lot of them showed up that night. A lot of them showed up to see what the band turned out being once they graduated. So in other words, this was my opportunity of a lifetime to finally shine, to finally prove everybody wrong, to finally show that I always had what it took to knock it out the park. This was my time to show that I always had what it took to be number one, to be a leader, because when you're the first tenor, you're the leader. And up until now, it was a constant fight. And in a lot of ways, it was an unfair fight because I was never the popular one in school, So the only way that I could truly express myself and my gifts and my talents was when I went to band. And up until now, even when I'm in band, it's a constant fight just for me to stay in the race. And a lot of it, it wasn't my fault. I wasn't the popular one. I was always the one that, that could never really prove, that could never really show how good I really was, because the juniors and the seniors always got the first dibs on everything, So in this dream, I'm back in this situation, So this is the first time that that we're putting on the marching uniforms. All of this was, looking back on it now, it was all ritualistic, but this meant something. all of those grueling days, all of those hot days in the summer, damn near falling out, damn near passing out, having to do push-ups, when you got stuff wrong, having to run suicides, having to run and jog around the football field 3 or 4 times, and all the different things that you have to go through in summer camp, in band camp, to separate the weak from the strong, to separate the people that's gonna be in the marching band for the rest of the year, and the people that's gonna be on the sideline, or the people that's gonna be in the pit crew and stuff like that. So this performance right here, this was my greatest time to shine. It was an opportunity that I've been waiting on for years, an opportunity that I've been waiting on to shine since freshman year, and it's finally my time. And there was nobody or nothing that could have not only prepared this situation to be like this, it was like the perfect opportunity, and it was like nobody could get in the way but me. I finally had a solo in this show where I can improvise and show how powerful I was on the sax. I was finally first tenor, and I was the one that was the leader for a change. I finally got my spot and all of that. So everybody's in the dressing room and stuff like that, putting on their clothes, putting on their marching band uniform for the first time. So my dumb ass. So I'm over here. I got my saxophone around my neck, got my neck strap. And so I'm in my street clothes, So I get a text from this chick that I was talking to. Now, I'm thinking that this chick was like an ex or something like that. It was a situation where, I kind of figured that me and her were over. But I just couldn't come to terms with it emotionally. So I kind of wanted her to tell me to my face that it was over or something like that, So the crazy part about it was, me thinking about it now, this situation actually happened in my life for real, but it happened my junior year, not my senior year, So I end up going somewhere off campus. This was so stupid. Like, I'm thinking about this now. This was so stupid. I end up going off campus to meet this ex, because we're supposed to talk about it and we're supposed to talk it over and all of that stuff. So long story short, I end up finally getting there. I end up finally getting to the place. This was far away from the school, away from the field where we're supposed to be doing this. So I'm over here running so I can meet her. I'm running with my saxophone around my neck and all of that stuff, thinking that I got all the time in the world. I can just do this right quick, and then I can go ahead and run back to the school or whatever. So I end up getting to the place. The chick stood me up. She stood me up. I'm over here like, yo, I don't got a lot of time. Like what you doing? Like, come on. She not picking up her phone, like all of this stuff. And it was like, emotionally, since I was so, I guess, emotionally connected to this girl, I literally lost track of time. I'm over here mad. I'm over here pissed off, sending her angry voicemails, like all of this stuff. I'm over here being a simp. And it was like this situation, this petty ass situation that I was going through with this girl, it had my head so emotionally messed up that I literally lost track of time. So what ended up snapping me back into my senses, I started hearing something like some loud horns playing in the distance. And it was at that moment that I knew I had fucked up. I'm like, oh shit, oh my God, no. So I'm running. I'm trying to say, excuse me, because at this point, it's packed. The field is packed. Everybody's sitting in the stands and all of this stuff. And pretty much I was too late. what I was pretty much hearing was the band already on the field, you know, already playing or whatever. And I pretty much had to sit, you know, I sat in the stands way in the back where I could see everything, but could nobody see me. And what I saw, it really made me sad, because not only was a lot of the people, you know, a lot of those juniors and a lot of those seniors that graduated already, you know, they showed up, you know. There was also some very powerful people that was in those stands watching. Like this situation, you know, this performance was a lot bigger than I expected. It was a lot bigger than I expected. And it was like, the more things that started revealing themselves to me, you know, the more people I started to see, you know, the more things that I was witnessing while I'm over here sitting in the stands at my show that I'm supposed to be the male Oshun, you know, I'm supposed to be the king, Yalorde. I literally had to end up watching the second tenor, you know, the person that was below me, play my part, you know, play my solos, you know, play all, you know, hear all of them yelling and cheering and screaming for him and stuff like that. And all I could do was just sit there and be like, damn, you know, that could have been me. It was supposed to be me. That was almost me. You know, that could have been me, you know. Now, not all of the juniors and seniors, you know, had it out to get me. You know, there were some juniors and seniors that I was actually cool with in school, you know, when I was a sophomore, when I was a freshman. It was a lot of them that was on my side, and they knew, you know, once I finally got my time to shine, that I would literally do just that. And even they came and watched, you know, and it was like, that was my chance to prove them right, and also to prove to the juniors and seniors that ended up, you know, always getting the rewards and stuff like that over me, you know, proving them right, that I really wasn't shit, you know. So when the show was over, there was like this ceremony that ended up happening, because, you know, as you all know, a lot of the people that graduated from my high school ended up doing really big things in real life. You know, one of the trombone players in my jazz band that used to give me a lot of shit when I was in school, you know, he was older than me. You know, now he's playing for Bruno Mars. I think he's done some shows for Beyonce. Dude is super famous, you know. One of the other guys that I was actually cool with, you know, he was, you know, in a grade older than me. He ended up being a very successful author and all of that, you know. So, you know, during this time, a lot of those people, and it's funny because the way they looked in my dream, they looked exactly the way they would have looked in high school. You know, it's funny. So they ended up coming up to the field and congratulating, you know, the new class of you know, the new band that's going to end up doing these great things and stuff like that. And I just felt so sad that I wasn't a part of that, you know, that I missed that opportunity, you know. So, you know, when it was all said and done, you know, I'm over here trying my best to hide. I'm over here trying to hide. The guy that ended up being a famous author, he ended up seeing me, you know, and since I had my saxophone still in my hand, you know, he didn't know that I wasn't up there. You know, he didn't know that I wasn't in the show. But, you know, since I didn't play any solos or anything like that, you know, he just said what's up to me. You know, I said what's up, you know, told him good luck on his endeavors and things like that. And he ended up giving me a signed copy of his book, you know. And I don't know, man, it just felt so bad. And so the craziest part, the last part of the dream that really hit me. So there was this girl that I was real cool with. And she was in the band. she was the only one that ended up spotting me trying to hide in the crowd. She ended up spotting me. She ran up to me and she chewed me out. She chewed me out so bad. She was like, yo, you know, you've been preparing for this. You know, I've been watching you get snubbed left and right, sophomore year, junior year, and you finally had your chance to shine and you blew it. She was like, if they didn't take out cell phones, if I would have had my cell phone, I would have called your phone and I would have blew you up and da 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 da. Like, she was going in. It was like she was going in, and it was like I couldn't do nothing but just sit there and take it, really, you know, because it was like I knew that I fucked up. Like, I knew that I made a mistake. Like, I knew that was the worst mistake, doing all of this for a chick that don't even care about me, a chick that don't even love me, while at the end of the day, my soulmate was in my band the whole entire time. The chick that was going to end up being, you know, my twin flame, my soulmate, she was in my band. She was in the band with me the whole time. And it was something that Pharaoh said in one of his videos about what disintegrated the black family. He was talking about what love is. And he was saying that you can't say that you truly love somebody unless when they're not there and you worry about them. You know, that's true love. You know, when somebody's away from your presence or something like that, and you're always worrying about their well-being. You know, you're always worrying about are they okay, and you always want to be concerned and check up on them and things like that. You know, people that can see something in you a lot of times, and you know, a lot of times they fight for you even in the times where, you know, you don't even fight for yourself as hard as you should. You know, and I agree with him. That is what true love is. And when she was chewing me out and stuff like that, you know, it really showed me that that's what true love is. You know, she really had my best interest at heart. The reason why she was so mad at me, because she was there. You know, she was there when, you know, I would get snubbed, and she was there when, you know, she would see me trying my hardest, and, you know, the rewards and the recognition always went to the juniors, always went to the seniors, always went to the upperclassmen and stuff like that, you know. And, you know, these are the people that are always rooting for you. And, you know, I hate to say it, but a lot of times in this life, we take those type of people for granted, you know, because they may not be, you know, that popular person or that toxic person that you really want to show that love. And, you know, these people, they never really loved you to begin with, you know. So, you know, as it always happens, because right before I woke up, you know, in my mind, I was like, well, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, I messed up. Yeah, you know, I dropped the ball. I fumbled the bag. But at the end of the day, it's just fall. This was just the first performance. You know, I know that I'm probably going to have to deal with some punishment. You know, I'm going to have to do a lot of showing and proving all over again. You know, I'm probably going to get bumped down to third tenor or fourth tenor, or I may have to end up being on the sidelines for a while, you know. But at the end of the day, it's just the fall. School just started. I still got the whole rest of the year to, you know, get back to that point. You know, even though it may not be as powerful as this situation, you know, because all the energy, like all the stuff was here, but you know, it's just the fall. In my mind, I'm like, well, yeah, I made this mistake, but you know, it's just the fall. You know, I got all year. You know, I'm gonna have to just do what it takes to redeem myself, and you know, hopefully, I'll be able to get that spotlight again before the year is up. You know, and that was the last thing that I was thinking about before I woke up. So, what does this mean for the soul family? What does it mean for the people out here that's going to run across this message, run across this video, and things like that? So pretty much as of 4:44 and 22 seconds p.m. On today, August the 8th of 2022, we're in a new stage. You know, some of us, when it comes to the spiritual high school, you know, some of y'all are just graduating from middle school, and this is your first year in high school as a freshman. You know, so you know it's you're leaving out of a stage, and you're moving to another plateau, a brand new plateau. But in that plateau, you know, you're a freshman. So you may be in a situation right now to where you got to do a lot of showing and proving. You got to do a lot of groundwork in terms of foundation building and stuff like that. So once you get up to that senior status in your journey, can't nobody say that something was handed to you. Can't nobody say that you didn't deserve this spot, you know, this spot of leadership and all of that in the times to come. Now, just like me, some of you all are going into a plateau to where you can finally shine. A plateau where you can finally show everybody that doubted you, you know, that even though in the past y'all might have been successful at thwarting me and holding me back and stuff like that, we're in a new day. We're in a new age. And, you know, now it's the time for me to solidify my top spot. Now it's the time for me to finally show that I always had what it took to be the leader. I always had what it took, you know, to be on top. And the stage is being set for you to transform everybody's perception, you know, everybody's perception of you, you know, AKA right now, Leo is in the 8th house, and Capricorn, the Capricorn moon is in the 1st house, you know. So either you're going to be at the top part of Capricorn, meaning that you're with this new energy. Now it's time for you. It's the stage is finally set, and all you got to do is just step up and just be you. You know, be who you always were. You know, and now people will finally be able to look at you as the GOAT. Either that, or if you're operating in your ego right now, you will be manipulated, and you will end up in a situation like Whitney Houston. Didn't we almost have it all? You know, ashe to Whitney Houston. I think her birthday is tomorrow. You know, and there's going to be a process, you know, which is the lower part of Capricorn. There's going to be a process that you're going to have to go through in order for you to rebuild your status. There's going to be a process that you're going to have to go through so you can rebuild people's trust in you, you know, rebuild people's stability in you, you know. But at the end of the day, shout out to Aya Montero. She did a live stream today, and what she said was true. You know, if you make a mistake right now and you don't get it right this time, don't think it's all over. You know, don't think that you know, that you just messed up and you'll never get another chance, because at the end of the day, you know, it's the fall. You know, it's the fall. But you can always spring yourself back up. You know, you can always spring into action and still end up being the GOAT, you know, in the times to come in the future, you know. So definitely keep that in mind. Don't let no petty past emotional trauma in your heart keep you from doing what you were meant to do. You know, right now for you all in this time, Spirit has tailor-made this opportunity that I feel like a lot of y'all are going to have some opportunities that's going to come up during the fall where, you know, my Virgo is in the 12th house. So it was like, you know, this was literally the perfect setup. This was the perfect setup for me to go and just knock it out the park. This was my time to prove everybody wrong, to show that, you know, that I was always the GOAT. And, you know, this was one of those situations to where, you know, after this, if I kind of had a little ego, as long as I'm doing the work, you know, no one would be able to look at that in a negative way, unless, I'm either doing what I did in the dream, or, I end up getting a big victory. And then after that, I start slacking off. I start to forget that, there was a strong effort that I had to do in order for me to achieve what I ended up achieving, So pretty much you are your own worst enemy at this time. Just like I was my own worst enemy, literally there was no other person, place, or thing that could have took this away from me. I did it to myself, and it was nobody's fault but mine. So, and then at the end of the day, I'm over here, bitching and complaining over some chick that never liked me, when at the end of the day, the woman that I probably, end up being with, that's going to give me that emotional happiness, that emotional fulfillment, she was there all along. Like, she was in the band with me all along, and even when I messed up, she was the only one that cared enough about me to get on my head, because at the end of the day, all my men out there, if you got a woman and, sometimes, that she really, really love you, if, you get to them times where you want to give up, you get to those times where, your energy is low, and then she gotta motivate you. She gotta be like, yo, like, come on, I know you can do it. I know that you can be the best. I know that you got what it takes. And, I'm not finna sit up here and give up on you. I'm not finna sit up here and watch you self-destruct. I'm not finna sit up here and watch you be less of yourself, because I know I was here. I was here the whole time. I know that you got what it takes, So, for you all out there, don't let no emotional trauma from the past, that is housed in your heart chakra. Don't let no emotional trauma from the past keep you from stepping into this new leadership position, because at the end of the day, you're fighting a losing fight. Everything that you need is already inside of you. And if it isn't already inside of you, it was always around you, So, I just want to tell you all that, this opportunity hasn't happened for me yet, because in this dream, it was in the fall, so probably late August, early September, I'm about to get a situation to where me as Mr.BandClap, I'll finally, get into a situation where I can truly show off who I really am, in a positive way, in a powerful way. And I can't let no emotional trauma from past relationships, from past failures and things like that, past trauma. I can't let nothing like that keep me from going forward, break my focus and stuff like that, because time is of the essence. In that dream, I thought I had all the time in the world, but time is of the essence. Sometimes when certain opportunities come, you can't, just like the Sonic X theme song, don't blink, don't think, just go, 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 go. Don't blink, don't think, just go. And at the end of the day, as long as this is in your alignment, your spiritual alignment, it's all going to work out in the end. And you will be glad that you did. All right. So now let's get to the reading. I know that was a really, really long story time, but I know somebody out there needed to hear that. So I'm glad that I was able to get this out. So as you all know, these are by day, but I kind of want to do something a little different. I want this to be 7 things that I'm gonna say. So these are 5 things that you really, really need to focus on, so that you can be in the correct position to receive the thing that you've always wanted, the opportunity, person, place, or thing, or opportunity that you always wanted, and it's coming to you with this portal. So these are the 5 things that you really need to focus on. You need to focus on so you can make sure that your heart is lighter than a feather, so that you can transform. And you're finally in a situation to where now you're the ascended goat. You're the ascended goat, and you can finally prove that you always had what it took to be the goat, because you've already put in the work. Now it's just time for you to show and prove. And when it gets to the weekend, this is going to kind of be the result. This is going to kind of be the result of if you did these things the way you were supposed to do it. So that's how that's going to work. As I do these, these are all Monday through Sunday. Still, you may not go through these on a particular day. It's just something that you just have to be cognizant about during the week. And the 2 cards that you see at the top, they come from the Santa Muerte Oracle deck. And these are kind of going to be the overall energies of this week. I'm focused on the 8th through the 12th because I think those are the days that this portal or whatever, this energy, is going to be at its apex, at its peak. So let's see what we got. So as you all know, in this Oracle deck, there are 32 cards, and they're broken up into 8 cards, 4 rows of 8 cards, and each of these rows represent one of the 4 worlds of the Cabal. So as you can see, the first card, it talks about, this is from the last row. This is from the last row of 8 cards, and this is the world of action. So the last 8 cards represent the congealment of the previous 3 worlds, which is to say the material world and the way in which human beings find their place and act within it by way of their own choices, their own actions, and their own works. So this 28 card is the card of action. This extremely dynamic card pushes you to continue your actions, especially in the direction of a specific choice that you will see illuminated by the sun. This is everything that was in my dream. It was like I was already going in the direction. I've already prepared for it. I had my saxophone in my hand, like I was ready. It was just that I let some emotional, petty situation. And the thing about it is, I can't even hardly remember what the situation was. It was so nonsensical. It was so a non-factor, And I let it distract me enough to where I literally ran away from the area where my blessing was supposed to be at. So this says, you have obtained good results, but you must understand which direction to take them in. No work can become great, positive, and universal if one does not constantly act to bring it and spread it in the world. In case of a deadlock, it will be necessary to project oneself towards the future and understand where the present problems come from, perhaps by reconsidering the actions of the past. So this card, it says you have the necessary baggage on your shoulders to face the new adventure before you. This is me with the saxophone in my hand, which is the instrument, my instrument to show who I really am as a talented artist. Do not fear and proceed without giving the problems of the past too much importance. Man, I couldn't have said that better myself. I literally could not have said that better myself. And it's crazy. It's crazy that there was a 4-5. It was a 4-5. When you turn that card around, you got a 4-5. That's 9, which is divine endings. You know, for a new beginning. Divine ending is an ending that you have to do in order for the new beginning. You know, so let's go to the second card, and you know, this is the 24 card. So these are all outer things. You know, these are all outer things that you have to do. You know, being cognizant of the fact that you've taken care of the emotional inner things, so that you can finally take action, so you can receive what you've always, you know, you receive what you've always knew that was yours. You know, it's just that everything has divine timing. You know, nothing is going to happen in the way that we want to all the time. You know, sometimes we have to wait for the divine timing. You know, in my situation, you know, I had to wait until the juniors and the seniors graduated. You know, let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. Some of y'all have ancestors, which are the seniors, and then some of y'all have you know, people that are in this world who are kind of over you, which are the juniors. You know, and they know your power and what you're capable of, and they will do things either subconsciously or intentionally to try to hold you back, to try to distract you, to try to hold you back, try to do everything they can to keep you distracted so you can never become your true self. Well, in this time that we're coming in now, that's no longer a situation. That's no longer the case. That's no longer an excuse. Right now, you are your own greatest testimony, and you can be your own worst enemy right now. You know, so this next card, the 24 card, you know, Kobe, you know, shout out to the ancestor Sage Mamba, Kobe Bryant, that wore the number 24. You know, we know the 4 + 2 is 6. You know, that's Virgo. That's 6th house. That's putting in the work. That's work, routines, stuff like that. You know, Michael Jackson was a Virgo. Beyonce is a Virgo. She just got her 7th #1 album with Renaissance. Kobe, he was a Virgo. You know, so all of this ties in. You know, this card talks about flux. You know, this card comes from the world of formation. It shows us that we can only obtain self-realization and do significant things in the world if we understand that our present is generated and connected by every kindness and every crime of the past in a continuous flow. You know, so if you haven't been putting in the work and doing what you're supposed to do, Capricorn, if you haven't been putting in the constant work, you know, you don't need to be surprised when you know, everybody else is walking in front of you, and you gotta just sit up there and pretty much repeat the same grade over, you know, because and sit up here be mad, you know, knowing that you really didn't put in no work for real. You know, right now I'm talking to the people that's been putting in the work, you know, people that's been going above and beyond, and they never felt like they got their just due. You know, they, because of certain situations to where other people, places, and things were always able to take their shine, and they was never able to have their time to shine. And now this is their time to shine. And now this is their time to prove that they always had what it took. That they was always that man. They was always that woman. They was always that. You know, these are the people that I'm talking to right now. You know, so we are like antenna that receive and transmit the original light, which it should come from your soul. It should come from your inner child. You know, this is the result of the shadow work that you should have been doing, you know, that you always need to be doing. That comes from the 8 card of emanations, which also reaches us through our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors, and through the forms we given our gods. Very important. So this card says, remember that you are the one in the present holding the future, and that if you want this future to be positive, you must first look inside yourself, because every action you decide to take in the world is nothing but a reflection of yourself. Very important. You know, you can fool everybody out there in the world. But the one person that you can't fool, is the man in the mirror. Shout out to Michael Jackson. The only one that you can't fool is the one that you have to answer to, you know, your higher self, you know, the man in the mirror. You know, you can't fool yourself, you know. And at the end of the day, if my uncle didn't teach me nothing else, one thing that he always told me as a kid, if you die and your soul be lost, it ain't nobody's fault but mine. You know, you at that point where you're about to have the last orgasm of your life, which is that last breath that you take. You know, people say it feels like an orgasm. And while you're in that state, you're looking around and you see your life flashing before your eyes, and you finally know, like, oh, this is what I was supposed to do, you know. And you start to see all the things that could have been. You start to see all the positions that you could have had, and that it was nobody's fault but yours the whole time. You know, your heart is not going to be lighter than a feather. You're going to end up having to reincarnate in the same situation so you can do it over, you know. So, you know, this is about a process of ascension. You know, this is a process of ascension, you know, because just like in my dream, you know, when you're on this stage doing what it is that you love to do, and you finally got that opportunity to go all out, you don't know who's in that audience watching. Because at the end of the day, soul family, you know, our enemies become our footstools. You know, those same people that talk shit about you in high school, and they graduated and they became great, and then they look and they see you shining. You know, they see you as that star that you always was. You know, they don't have no choice but to acknowledge you. You know, they don't have no choice but to elevate you. You know, they don't have a choice, because at this particular point, them still trying to hate on you, and them still trying to, you know, spread negativity towards you, it makes them look bad, you know, and nobody wants to look bad, you know. The bully can only, you know, get a gratification for doing what they do only when everybody else is laughing with him. But if it gets to a situation where the nerd actually knows martial arts, and the nerd starts to fight back, and it gets to the point where, you know, it's no longer funny messing with that nerd, you know, that's when the bully disappears and the devil has to flee. So with that being said, let's see what Monday has for us. So when I do these readings, the top card is always like the result. But a lot of times, if you heed the message from the bottom card and the middle card, if the result isn't something that you know, that you're cool with, you can always change it, you know. So at the bottom, you know, we got the Four of Air. So in a lot of ways, you know, this kind of talks about a mental hermit mode in a way. You know, this talks about need for rest and cure, you know, wounds of sorrow caused by loneliness. Nobody understands or remembers you, you know. A lot of you all that have been doing the work, you know, you're realizing, and this is something that me and Aya was talking about, where she was like, it don't matter how unbalanced that you are, you know, the world that we live in is, you know, a quadrillion times more unbalanced than we are, you know. And when you truly start to work on yourself, and you truly start to do that shadow work, and you're starting to see the results and stuff like that, when you look out into the world and things like that, even when it comes to your close friends and stuff like that, you're gonna really start to kind of feel lonely, kind of feel distant, because, you know, when you're trying to work on yourself and you're trying to be positive, you know, you're not gonna want to talk about the same type of subjects and, you know, talk about the same type of stuff that everybody else is talking about. And then it's going to get to the point to where, you know, everything that you say is going to be so high vibrational that, you know, if you had friends or if you had people around you and that's all they were on, you know, they're not going to want to be around you no more. They're not going to want to kick it with you no more. Like, oh, there go Positive Pete. You know, there go High Vibrational Harry. And you're going to start realizing that the reason why you don't have a lot of people that want to associate with you no more and all of that, because you start to be a mirror. You know, you start to be a mirror. It kind of reminds me of Six the Goddess. The reason why I bring Six the Goddess up, my Virgo sister, is because she had a live stream, and she was talking about the you know, the importance of weight, you know, the importance of keeping your weight down, and she talks about femininity and things like that in a divine type of way. And she talked about how when she started talking about that type of message, she would get a lot of death threats. She would get a lot of people threatening to do stuff to her children, and she was kind of shocked at all of the hatred that she was getting. And, you know, she's not the type of person where she's like cursing and like just saying just out of the way negative, derogatory type of stuff. You know, the stuff that she was saying, at least to me, it sounded extremely, it made sense. It sounded down to earth, you know, it made sense. But it was something that she said was very important. She said one of her guy friends actually pulls her to the side, and he was like, you know, the reason why they're treating you like this? The reason why they're treating you like this is because it's coming from you. You know, it's coming from you. Someone who's beautiful, tall, dark, natural hair, you know, radiant, all of that type of stuff. And you're over here talking about the importance of keeping your weight down and being feminine and things like that. And a lot of them have the type of mindset of, it's like, yo, if we let this go on and stuff like that, you know, she may end up catching on to everybody else. And then it's going to get to the point where, you know, women aren't going to be like big is beautiful and stuff like that. You know, everybody's going to want to look like Six the Goddess in some type of way. And now the ridicule and, you know, a lot of that hate and negativity is going to be put back on them. So they're like, yo, let us go ahead and tear her down, you know, try to make her delete her channel, make her just say, fuck it, I don't want to do this no more, you know, and that'll be one less person that can stop their shine, you know. So if you're working on yourself and you're doing the work and you realize that every time that you go within and you get a revelation, you know, and you start to change and you start to transform and you start to see that you're getting less and less phone calls, you're getting less and less people like, yo, you want to go out, you want to hang out, you know, you get less and less people that want to deal with you, to the point where you're just alone, you know. Don't look at it in a negative way, because at the end of the day, the reason why that you know, the reason why that they're acting like this is because you have a essence that is so high up that, you know, we live in a world where people are comfortable with being in misery. You know, they don't want to go up. You know, they don't want to rise up. They don't want to elevate, you know. And when you get to the point where you're as high as a fairy in sylphs, and you get to the point where, you know, you're a mature man or a mature woman who is sensible, who is a dreamer, who is inspiring, someone who is a poet, an artist, a teacher, a writer, a scientist, someone with a fine character, with strong conviction, someone who is faithful and tender, you know, when you turn into that type of person, you know, for some people, they feel like that's unobtainable. And we have a type of mentality in this world to where instead of us saying, yo, you know, what did you do to lose all that weight? You know, what did you do to have that beautiful husband or that beautiful wife that you got, or whatever? You know, what did you do to do that? Because I want to, you know, I want to learn, you know, I want to get better. You know, I want to elevate myself. I want to be where you're at. And they're saying it in a innocent, humble type of way. Instead, they would rather bring you down a peg. They would rather try to tear you down. So when you see that going on, you know, you're walking through this new energy, and now you're the leader and stuff like that. Now it's time for you to search for ideals. You know, it's time for you to have a effective oral or written communication, you know, a friendship and agreement, a joining of strength, concordant feelings, faithfulness, loyalty, and respect. You know, it's time for you to go around other people that match that energy, instead of you trying to dwell within the past and dwell with people who think that they're in a dangerous situation or place. They feel like all their hands and feet are tied. They feel like there's no hope. You know, that's what the Four of Air upright is. You know, for you, if it's reversed, meaning that, you know, you're moving past that energy and you're rising up, you're becoming elevated, you know, you're the swan now. You know, you no longer look at yourself as the ugly duckling. You need to hang around other swans. You know, you need to hang around other people who can keep you at that level. You know, so that's very important. So that's one thing that you need to do, so you can stay in that high vibrational energy, so you can get the best of what this energy right now has to offer. All right, so let's see what Tuesday has for us. So the second thing that you need to do, so that you can be in the highest vibration right now, so you can vibrate high, so you can really take advantage of what this energy right now has to offer. The second thing that you need to do, you need to be honest about your mistakes, so that you can in a healthy way and effectively spiritually move past them. That's what Tuesday is talking about in totality. You know, we gotta be honest, because we know that Shango talks about truth and justice, you know, and then when we talk about Baba Luaye, which is the middle card, you know, that card talks about you know, someone who knew better, you know, someone who knows better. You know, they have a high fraternal sense and stuff like that, you know. But this Seven of Earth, you know, you trying to fit in. You trying to fit in with everybody else around you. So you think that you can do the same dirty stuff that they're doing, you know, thinking that that you can you know, thinking that you can achieve the same result that everybody else achieved. You know, they was able to do dirt and get away from it, you know, get away with it. But you wasn't so lucky. You know, you wasn't so lucky. Seven of Earth reverse. Lack of analysis. You know, the tallest, the biggest, the strongest, and presumably the safest is not always the one that has more fruit. You know, you thought you could take the easy way out. You know, there were some situations in your life where you thought you could take the easy way out. You know, you thought that you could get over and stuff like that. But in this particular situation, the odds wasn't necessarily in your favor. So you did something that was very mentally, you know, something that was mentally that you didn't have no business doing, you know, which is the Baba Luaye reversed, thinking that it's going to give you, you know, a dwarves and gnomes, you know, give you some riches and stuff like that. And then you get caught up, and now you're acting like the Shango reverse, injustice. You know, you're like, yo, you know, I'm a product of injustice, and you know, the system is because of the system that I'm in this situation, you know, all of that stuff. And it finally comes out. It finally comes out that it wasn't the system. You know, you knew that it was wrong, and you think that you can, you know, you think that you can do something and get over, and you end up getting caught, you know. So every time I see a Orisha card that doesn't have another card beside it, I always got to do a confirmation, you know. The reason why this injustice happened is because you abandoned your spirit. Your spirit was trying to tell you that it was wrong, and you abandoned your spirit. You abandoned your higher self, who was trying to tell you that it was wrong, who was trying to tell you to go the other way. And that's the reason why you got this injustice. You know, you abandoned your spiritual defense system. You abandoned it. So that's why you have this injustice. And in order for you to empty out your heart so it can be lighter than a feather, so you can go through this you know, so you can go through this Lion's Gate, you know, be on the positive, high vibrational side of this energy that's going on. You got to be honest with the mistakes that you made. You got to be honest with the things that you know, the fuck ups that you caused. You know, like I said, it's nobody's fault but mine. I'm my own worst enemy. You know, you having that type of attitude, it keeps you from blaming things outside of yourself. You know, you being honest with yourself that, yeah, you know, I made some mistakes. You know, I did some things that wasn't contrary to what I know I'm supposed to do, but I'm effectively working to change that. You know, I'm effectively trying to go in the right direction and things like that. And you're about to reap what you sow right now. You know, so that was the message for Tuesday, the second thing. So now let's go to Wednesday, you know, which is the third thing. So Wednesday is an affirmation. I choose me. I'm sorry. That's what you have to understand. That's what you got to tell yourself no matter what. Wednesday is don't ever feel bad because you were outcasted for choosing yourself. You know, for choosing yourself and doing the right thing that was best for you. Because at the end of the day, like that Ogun card says, spirit triumphs and prevails over matter. Good overcomes evil. Intelligence exercises supremacy over brutality. You know, and at the end of the day, no weapons formed against you shall prosper. You will win. Love is conjured up to reject and repel hate. You know, keep your benevolent nature. You know, but at the same time, be strong, compelling, and impulsive. Always have tenacity and courage. You will bring anything you have started to a conclusion, and nothing, not even the smallest detail, will be omitted. You know, a lot of devilish thoughts. People that you used to be cool with in a romantic way or partner type of way, and also your associations can be hating on you right now because you chose the spiritual, the high vibrational way. You know, you understood that the reason why you have won is because you have received a gift from the powerful one who offers support and equality. You know, you take your freedom and you take, you know, your sanity and things like that as a gift, you know, and that's and other people around you that really mean something, you know, in the grand scheme of things, they saw that in you. And that's why you got that important employment offer. You know, that's why you got that contract where everything is down the middle, 50-50 basis. And you choose to seize this opportunity, even though you may be a outcast, a reversed outcast to everybody else. A reverse outcast is someone who feels like, you know, that you're flip-flopping, you know, that you're wearing 1,000 masks and that you don't know who you are. But at the end of the day, you know, that's how the fool moves. You know, the fool is always unpredictable, you know, and every time you take the fool seriously, it's you that end up on the short end of the spectrum. It's you that always gets you know, the short end of the stick, you know. So this is talking about someone who has a lot of hatred towards them because they chose to be high vibrational. You know, they chose to do the right thing and they got rewarded for it. But, you know, they're outcasted when it comes to you know, those so-called friends, those so-called relationships, those so-called associations, you know. So don't feel bad that you got to choose yourself. Like, this is a situation because I had a dream. I had a dream a few days ago. I had a dream a few days ago to where it was me and a group of people. We ended up going into this store. Pretty much, what's the word? We ended up going to this store and we vandalized it by using spray paint and painting all over the counters and different parts of the store, you know. Now, in this dream, you know, I don't know why we did it. I don't know if it was a trick that we was doing. I don't know why we did it. I just know that that's what we were doing. So, something happened to where I ended up finding out that this store that we were over here vandalizing was a part of Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. It was like a store that he had in the Neverland Ranch. You know, I didn't know this before. So I'm over here like, damn, you know, I love Michael. You know, I love Michael Jackson. I didn't know that this is what I didn't know that this was what I was doing. You know, so I started to feel bad. Now, you know, I still had a few hours left before the store opened. I had a few hours left before the security came and all of that. So I went back to the store with some cleaning supplies, and I was able to clean up the mess I made, you know, the mess that was made before anybody found out, you know. And I remember I had this boom box and I was playing You Want to Be Starting Something while I was cleaning it up, because I just felt so bad that this was what I was a part of. And I'm like, I'm not finna, you know, I still had a change of heart, and I went back and I did the right thing, you know. Now, you know, quite naturally, I probably never went on another heist with those people again. You know, they probably looked at me as a traitor. They probably looked at me, you know, like, damn, like, why you gonna do that? You know, they probably had all kind of negative stuff to say about me because of that. But at that point, I didn't care, because my heart felt content. My heart felt innocent, you know, because I did the right thing. You know, sometimes, you know, we can do something out of the heat of passion. We can be getting ready to make the biggest mistake of our lives, and we feel justified. And then something happens right before, you know, right before you get ready to do it. And you might have some other people with you or whatever, and then you decide that you have a change of heart and you don't go through with it. And now those evil people that was about to help you, or that was motivating you to do it, now they're looking at you like a traitor, you know, because you chose to do the right thing. You know, at the end of the day, Wednesday's message: if you got to choose yourself while everybody else is jumping off the bridge, you walking towards the cliff, but then you have a change of heart and you decide to turn around the other way, don't have a heavy heart. You know, understand that was your higher self. That was your spirit team, you know, that was finally able to get through to you right before you was about to throw your whole life away. And, you know, you need to be happy. You need to be proud of yourself, because not everybody gets that opportunity to fix what they messed up before it gets to the point to where, you know, it's about to cost them. Because it was like, you know, I went back just in time, and I was able to clean it up and all of that, you know, and I left it as fresh and as new as when we first got there, and I felt happy. I don't care what they thought, you know, because I would never deface a property that belonged to Michael Jackson, you know, meaning that you should never hurt something that's innocent, no matter what type of reward that is, you know, no matter what type of reward that is put in front of you for doing something to hurt something innocent, you know. So that's the message for Wednesday. Let's see what Thursday has for us. So the message for Thursday is that victory has never been about race. It's never been about the race. It always had to do with perseverance and endurance, aka the race was never given to the swift nor to the strong. It's about he that can endure to the end. You know, say you failed high school, you failed the 12th grade, and you got to repeat the grade over or something like that, and you end up graduating a year after everybody else graduated. Remember, no matter how many times you failed and had to do it over, when it's all said and done, you get the same high school diploma that everybody else got. Your high school diploma don't say nothing different than what the high school diploma of the person that graduated when they were supposed to graduate. Never feel like it's too late for you to be victorious just because you're looking at someone else who was able to achieve what you're trying to achieve before you. Because at the end of the day, you don't know their story, they don't know your story, and you can't judge somebody's success, because at the end of the day, we're all on our own special path. We're all on our own special path. I'm 31, and I'm just now realizing what it is that I truly want to do with my brand, what I truly want to do, with how I want to represent myself and all of that. Back in 2009, back in 2010, back in 2011, I didn't have no access to Unreal Engine 5. I didn't have no access to iClone. I didn't know about the spiritual things that I know now. I didn't do no shadow work. I didn't have access to no shadow PC. I didn't have access to a lot of the tools that that literally has come online now. So I can't look at the people that graduated high school and they went on to the big leagues. I can't look at myself as a failure just because I'm just now getting my time to shine in my 30s. You can't have that type of attitude being on this journey, being on this path. Because with the enslaved prisoner reverse, it's talking about the greatest pain has ceased. You won. Why are you mad because you received your rewards later on in your life, and you're mad because you didn't get it in your 20s? You may be 40, you may be 50, and just got the opportunity of a lifetime to do what you wish you could have done in your 20s, and you over here mad because, damn, I wish I could have got this when I was 21. When at the end of the day, the different tools and the different things that was that's helping you to be what you are now wasn't even invented back then. So you got to keep that in mind. The greatest pain has ceased, but the effects of incomprehension may still affect you. Break the chains, whether it's physical, moral, spiritual, or mental. You can do it. Avail yourself of the truths that your enemies and torturers have granted you. Ease your tension and forgive with the sublimation of love. You must face reality. There was some people that came to that performance in my dream that graduated my freshman year. There was people there that graduated my sophomore year, people that graduated my junior year. They was all there waiting, looking, and had I did what I was supposed to do, it wouldn't have mattered that they thwarted me from being what I always knew that I could be, because now is my time to shine. Now is my time to be the leader and do all of those things. You can't sit up here and be mad and sit up here and have some type of disdain in your heart, you know, mad at your higher self because, you know, I wish you could have gave me this opportunity, you know, 10 years ago. You know, you don't want to be that type of person. You know, forgetting the fact that at the end of the day, reconsider that you will always have to go through tests, and you will not be able to get away from this. And even if you could, the balance would be negative. You know, that's the 10 of fire reversed. You know, this is someone who finally got their moment to shine. They finally shown that they could transcend, and they got the crown. And instead of them celebrating, instead of you looking for the future, you know, to keep stacking up on this plateau, this high plateau that you deserve, you know, that you're on. You know, instead you're mad at your spirit team because, you know, I wish that y'all could have did this for me when I wanted it. When at the end of the day, you didn't have the same mindset that you got now. You didn't have the same mental capacity that you have now. You know, you didn't have the same spiritual awareness that you have now. So even if they would have gave you that victory or that person, place, or thing, or situation back then, you know, you would have took it for granted. So with this, you know, with Thursday, this is you understanding that everything has its place. It's all about endurance. It don't got nothing to do with you got to complete it at this time. You got to do it. You know, it's not always about that. You know, the high school diploma that the person that the valedictorian, he gets the same high school diploma that the person that graduated with all D's get. You know, the high school diploma is the same. And then at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, you know, all them, you know, you mad because you don't got good grades, you don't get high grades and stuff like that. In the grand scheme of things, that stuff don't even matter for real. You know, that stuff don't even matter for real, because, you know, once you get to a certain level, don't nobody care about what you did in high school no more. You know, don't nobody care about all that stuff no more. Now it's your time to perform. Now this is your time to show that all of those you know, waking hours that you had to spend working and, you know, perfecting your craft and all of that stuff. You know, now it's time for you to show and prove, not looking back into the past, wishing that I could have got this trophy way back then, you know. So it's like, once you choose yourself and you choose that, yo, you know, everything that I'm going through, everything that I got to sacrifice, all these choices that I'm making is because of my path and stuff like that. You have to put your victory and your success in the hands of your higher self. You know, I don't care if this takes me 10 years. I don't care if this takes me 2 months. You know, I'm going to be just as grateful of this success, because at the end of the day, you know, it's all about enduring to the end, and you've endured to the end. So now you need to move forward in your kingdom, or move forward in your queendom, you know. So definitely make sure that that you keep that in mind. You know, the 10 of water talks about the crown rewards the task performed. Everything has been fulfilled, for the spirit is everything, and the spirit is in all things, since the spirit is the creation of God, the creator present in everything. You know, your partner will be prolific, your offspring and or creation, you know, whether it's artistic or literary, will enjoy this love that embodies the mind and spirit, that embodies the body, mind, and spirit. Total peace. So be in peace. You know, be in peace. When you choose yourself, you know, when you've made up in your mind that at the end of the day, I don't fault myself because of the mistakes I made. You know, when I understand that I need to move away from this environment. You know, I've gotten this promotion, I got this money, I got this success, so I need to move out of this misery situation, you know, leave those people behind that's not trying to elevate, you know, and I got this victory. I'm not looking back. I'm not looking back, you know, and that's the type of, and you should never let people negatively judge you and let that get to you because you choose to have that type of mindset, you know. All right, so let's see what Friday has for us. And this is the 12th, which is you know, the last day that this energy will be at its apex. And pretty much Friday is talking about, I will trust the process no matter how slow it may seem, because victory shall be mine. You know, that's what Friday is talking about. You know, see, with this 8 of water, you know, this is how things went when you tried to do it your way. You know, when you tried to do it your way, you know, this is before you knew who you were. You know, this is before you went on your spiritual path and you was doing things your way. You had an imbalance as a result of excessive ambition. You know, you had which led to a dangerous attitude when facing the reality of life, forgetting that time goes by and that we are not eternal, at least with respects to our bodies. You know, you didn't have that type of mindset that the things that I do, it not only affects me, but you know, it affects the people that love me, you know, the people that are around me, and you know, things like that. You was out here being reckless, you know, and then with this message from Earth, you know, you got to a situation to where you had to rebuild from the ground up. You know, you had to rebuild from the ground up in hopes that that you can make a lush oasis out of this barren wasteland that you created for yourself because of how reckless that you were in the past. You know, now, you know, you've grown a lot. You know, you've grown a lot since then. You know, and you being on this path, even though it may seem slow, you know, even though it might have seemed like nothing would ever grow from this. As you can see, this card talks about you will be benefited and rewarded with money or valuables for all the skill and capacity shown in your actions. You have a gift for activities related to the earth. You know, so this is you putting in the work, showing that you're a changed person, and working towards you know, working towards fulfillment and success, you know, by following your promptings, you know, following your inner child, finally doing things God's way, you know, like Dolo say, you know, and you will reap the benefits of that. Fertility in any kinds of plans, desires, and projects. You know, this talks about, at the end of the day, slow and steady always won the race. You know, not only was this race about endurance, you know, it was always about slow and steady winning the race. It never had to do with who was the fastest, you know, who had the world record for the fastest completion and all of that, you know. And as a result, this message from water, you achieved a triumphant victory, maximum pleasure in realizing that you were able to defeat the difficulties either with or without help from others. You know, material and or energetic factors on any level of interpretation. You have resorted to your integrity as a thinking and rational being and defeated your base desires and interests as a way to reach your proposed aim. You know, and as a result, your plans came true. All this may be hard at the beginning, but not at all unpleasant. You know, so definitely keep that in mind. You know, that was a beautiful message. So now we're on the weekend, baby. So now let's see what Saturday has for us. So as a result of the success, you know, or the lessons that you learned this week, this talks about be a messenger for others. You know, be a positive, peaceful messenger to others. You know, with your success and stuff like that. You know, don't be like these scammers that be on YouTube talking about, hey, you know, I got this Lamborghini. Hi, I got this Lamborghini right here, and if you want to get this as well, you know, you can work hard and all of that. You know, be a minister to the other people out there that's trying to be their best selves, and they're doing the work and they're out here trying. You know, be a motivating word. You know, use your success. You know, don't be out here egotistical. Yeah, man. You know, I got this shit, and ha nanny boo boo. You know, we all gonna have our times where we may express that, but at the end of the day, you know, when you get this success and now you're the senior, you know, you have a choice not to treat the freshmen and the sophomores that's looking up to you. You know, you have a choice to not treat them the way that the seniors treated you, you know, at that point. You know, to the point where, you know, when they get up to that point, you know, now they got a chip on their shoulder, just like you do, and the cycle continues. You know, you being a spiritual senior, you know, you rising up, and now people are looking at you like an ancestor. You know, break the cycle. You know, do something different. You know, do something different with your leadership. You know, do something different with your success. The message from Fire, this talks about, you know, you having this energy of, do not let anything or anyone discourage you, since reason acts according to your moves. You know, make sure that you are fair in your attitudes and have the courage to fulfill your duties, rank, achievement, and in your performance. You know, understand that you should be guided by truth and love, and you know, you will always have the means of happiness that you deserve. You know, encouraging people that you got the willpower to overcome any danger or difficulties. You know, now with this tube of water, not everybody is going to accept your message. You know, but at the end of the day, it's not about that. You know, just like how it's not meant for everybody to be successful in this lifetime. It's not meant for everybody to be a millionaire. It's not meant for everybody to get it. It's not meant for everybody to go through and come out on the other side. You know, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to change the cycle. You know, and be that ace of air. You know, be that messenger of truth. You know, you don't have to do and follow the same path in the same vicious, evil cycle that your ancestors did. You know, you can be the one to show that people can change. You know, that people can have a heart. You know, that people can, you know, that a rich man can enter the kingdom of heaven, because you understand that your riches come from spirit first. You know, the material ain't nothing but a reflection, you know, a mere puny reflection of something even greater that you have inside. But you understand that, you know, this wasn't something that, you know, this wasn't something that you knew all the time. You know, you had to grow into this, you know, and being that type of person, that's how you find your soul family. You know, the reason why I've been able to live and survive all of this time, being on this journey, is because a lot of the people that I've helped out, a lot of the people that I motivated them and things like that, they've come back around to support me. You know, they come back around to help me, and you know, stuff like that, motivate me. So, you know, I appreciate y'all so much for that, all the donations, all the support. You know, I appreciate y'all so much. from the bottom of my heart. I really do, you know. And I try my best to be that messenger, that positive messenger. And this will never change. Even when I do become that successful animator, that monetarily successful person that I know that's coming. I never want to change. You know, I never want to change from the person that I was when I was in my truck. You know, the person that I was, you know, going from hotel to hotel. The person that I was going from couch to couch. That was speaking that truth. You know, I want to keep that same trajectory even when I have everything that I always wanted. And that's what we should all strive for, you know. All right, so last but not least, let's see what Sunday has for us. And Sunday's message is extremely simple. Dolo say this shit all the time. Let the dead bury the dead. Let the dead bury the dead. That's what Sunday's message is. You know, some people are never going to change. Some people are never going to understand their worth and their values and things like that, which is the Ace of Earth. You know, some people are never going to put in that spiritual work to become the victor, which is the Six of Fire. And, you know, some people, they're never going to understand that instead of them hating, becoming a snake, you know, trying to rain on your parade, you know, they could achieve the same success. They just got to put in the work. But you got to understand that, you know, everybody, it's just meant for, I just hate to say this, but it's meant for some people to be bitch ass niggas. Like, I'm sorry. It's meant for some women to be thoughts. It's meant for some women to be, you know, whores that die alone. You know, it's meant for some people to be the example of what not to do. It's meant for some people to be examples of what not to be. And you got to be okay with that. Don't be over here trying to cry over spilled milk. Don't be over here trying to put spoiled milk in the refrigerator thinking that you can revive it. Because at the end of the day, you drink that shit, you gonna be sick. You know, you over here, this is talking about somebody who is the only one that's successful in their family, and they feel like it's their obligation to go back to the hood and try to elevate a group of mindless zombies, you know, that don't know who they are, you know, six of water, you know, and all you're doing is setting yourself up to be another Nipsey Hussle, setting yourself up to be another Young Dolph, setting yourself up to be another one of these countless examples of, you know, people who are trying to negate the obvious, which is, you know, there's a balance in the world. We got to understand there's a balance in the world. There's some people that are meant to be here as the example of how not to move. And, you know, you just got to understand that. You can't help everybody. You can't please everybody. And you for damn sure can't save everybody. And if y'all can heed that message this week, my friends, you will be glad that you did. All right, y'all. This was a very, very dope reading. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I appreciate everybody who stayed and watched this till the end. Happy portal. Happy gate to everybody. You know, I hope, you know, it's back to school right now. So y'all keep the little ones in your prayers. You know, they got to go and be indoctrinated at the school for another year. You know, shout out to the seniors of high school who's graduating from high school. Shout out to the people who are the kids who are graduating middle school, going to high school. Shout out to the seniors in college who's about to graduate and get their masters or their bachelors or their doctorate. You know, congratulations to all of y'all. I'm claiming it that y'all are going to graduate and be the best that y'all can be in this world. And until next time, peace. What's up, y'all? I hope y'all enjoyed that video, and if you stayed to the end, I appreciate you. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, I want to redirect you to my Instagram page. I don't promote my Instagram page a lot, but as my subscriber count and things like that rise due to things like shadow banning and stuff like that, I'm hearing that a lot of people aren't getting my notifications when I go live on YouTube and stuff like that. So for all things BandClap TV, my Instagram page and my story are going to have all of the notifications and things like that when it comes to when I'm going live, when I'm going, when I'm releasing videos, when I'm releasing content. Also on my Instagram page, if you're curious about my reviews for my readings and stuff like that, as you can see on my Instagram, I have a lot of different testimonials and stuff like that. For those who don't know of me as an artist, I also have videos of me performing and stuff like that. I'll be putting out more stuff like that very, very soon. So I'm just trying to get as many people right now to go ahead and follow me on Instagram. That is BandClap TV. And also my Facebook and Snapchat, BandClap TV as well. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. And like I always say, no matter what, you got to stay shining. You got to stay shining.